I still remember how she said it. Calm, measured, almost rehearsed. "I'm leaving you for my ex," she said across the dinner table, her fingers lightly circling the rim of her wine glass. For a moment, I thought she was joking. After all, we'd been married for 11 years. We'd built a home, created memories, weathered storms together. But the look in her eyes made it clear this wasn't a joke. Her voice didn't tremble. There was no guilt, no hesitation, only certainty. I didn't argue. I didn't plead or demand an explanation. I just nodded and said, "Okay." That single word seemed to throw her completely off. She blinked, clearly not expecting such calm. She must have imagined me shouting, begging, breaking down. She braced herself for guilt, maybe even pity. Instead, she got quiet acceptance, and that unnerved her more than any argument ever could. "That's it? You're not going to say anything?" she asked, frowning. I looked at her for a long moment. "What's left to say, Anna? If you've already chosen him." The conversation ended before it even began. Her lips pressed together. "You don't understand, Mark. This isn't about you. I just need to be happy." I offered a faint smile. "Then I hope you find that." Silence followed. Heavy, awkward, suffocating. She stood, grabbed her bag, and left. The sound of the front door shutting echoed through the house like a final verdict. That night, I didn't cry. I didn't drink. I just sat in our living room, surrounded by the memories she was so eager to abandon, the photos on the walls, the faint scent of her perfume, the laughter that had once filled every corner. It all felt like someone else's life. But beneath the calm, something inside me shifted. Years of bending, of compromising, of trying to be the husband she wanted, finally clicked. She had always taken without giving back. Her leaving wasn't a loss. It was a freedom I had never dared demand for myself. Before bed, I opened my laptop and began typing an email to my lawyer. I didn't plan to fight over the house or the savings, but I would make sure that, for once, the story didn't end with me looking like the fool. The next morning, I woke early, brewed a cup of coffee, and watched the sunrise through the kitchen window. It felt different, peaceful. For the first time in years, I didn't carry the weight of someone else's happiness. The house was quiet, almost serene. No perfume, no tension, no walking on eggshells. Around 10 a.m., my phone buzzed. An unknown number. Half expecting Anna, I answered. "This is Richard Collins, Mrs. Porter's attorney. We'd like to discuss some formalities regarding the separation," said a firm male voice. I almost smiled. She'd wasted no time. "Of course," I said calmly. "Send me whatever you need." He sounded surprised. "You're taking this quite well, Mr. Porter." "Why wouldn't I?" I replied. "She's getting what she wants." There was a pause. "She's requested full ownership of the house and half your joint savings. I hope we can avoid unnecessary complications." I chuckled. "You'll want to check the paperwork, Mr. Collins. The house was fully paid for before the marriage. It's in my name alone. As for the savings, I moved them into a separate account last month. The joint accounts are closed." Silence. "I see. I'll forward my attorney's contact details." I said politely, "You can discuss it with him from now on." Then I hung up. I knew that call would hit Anna like a lightning bolt at breakfast. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted her to feel what it's like to underestimate someone who no longer cares. An hour later, a text from her. "What did you do?" I replied, what I should have done a long time ago. Protected myself. No response. By evening, my lawyer Daniel called, laughing. "Well, Mark, seems your wife and her lawyer are both fuming. They assumed you'd roll over like before." "Let them be angry," I said. "She's free to have her ex, but she's not walking away with what I built." Daniel laughed again. "You played it perfectly. Most men panic. You stayed calm. That's rare." Calm. Yes, that was what broke her. The calm she never saw coming. Anna thrived on control, on emotional reactions. But I'd taken that away. That night, under the stars, I reflected on all the times I'd swallowed my pride to keep the peace, all the moments I apologized for things I hadn't done. That chapter was over. 2 days later, Anna showed up unannounced. She looked different, tired, restless, uncertain. The armor she wore when she left was gone. She stood at the door, clutching her purse, as if she didn't belong. "Can we talk?" she asked softly. I stepped aside. "Sure." She walked through the living room slowly, eyes landing on empty spaces where her photos had hung. I'd taken them down the morning after she left, not out of anger, but to clear the air of ghosts. "I didn't expect you to act like this," she said finally. "How did you expect me to act?" I asked. "Beg you to stay? Promise to change?" Her eyes flickered. "I just thought you'd care more." "I did care," I said. "For years. But you stopped noticing." She looked away. "My ex, David, he said you try to make things difficult, that you turn bitter." I smiled faintly. "He doesn't know me." Silence, heavy and fragile. I could see the realization forming in her eyes. She had lost control of the narrative. She wasn't a victim anymore. She bit her lip. "Richard told me about the accounts. The house? You planned this, didn't you?" "I planned to protect myself," I said. "You decided to walk away. I just made sure I didn't lose myself in the process." For a long moment, she said nothing. Then she sighed, shaking her head. "I thought leaving you would make me happy. But David isn't who I remembered. It's not what I thought it would be." I looked at her calmly. "Anna, you didn't lose me because you love someone else. You lost me because you stopped loving yourself enough to value loyalty." Her eyes glistened with unshed tears. "Can we start over?" I didn't hesitate. "No, I'm done living in circles. You made your choice, I made mine." She exhaled shakily. "You've changed," she said. "Maybe," I said, standing. "Or maybe I just stopped letting you break me piece by piece." As she walked out, something inside me shifted. Not anger, not sadness. Clarity. She'd come expecting guilt, expecting the same man who once worshipped her shadow. She left knowing she no longer had that power. The next morning, my lawyer called again, laughing. Her lawyer had quit mid-meeting. He's done with her drama. I smiled. Finally, I was free too.